listening to all those stories that I hear from women that they have so many dreams, they want to do so many things, and they never have the time. Time management and productivity per se, they are trending more towards a holistic approach, more towards well-being and self-care, and not only like we have to meet this objective.
Joining me today is Sheila Segnalini, and she is a time management coach at Organizing Concepts in Houston, Texas. So Sheila, welcome. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this space.
Of course. So let's go ahead and get started. Sheila, in the most simple way you can you please explain to me what a time management coach does?
Okay. What I do specifically, I help busy women invest their time in a better way so they can have enough time for their self-care and their well-being. That's my main focus.
Okay, that's amazing. So now what made you want to get started in this career path? How did you get your start in it?
Okay. I studied modern languages at college, and I worked as a translator for like 14 years. But that's a very like solitary job. You know, it's only you and your computer.
Yeah.
So I was ready for a change after 14 years. And I decided to do something where I could connect with people. So I started a list of my strengths and my weaknesses and all of that. And the one thing that comes very naturally to me, it's time management. Like I'm never late. I always have time for everything.
That's great. That's great.
So that's how I started.
Yeah. And so now, how long have you been doing this?
Not much, like 3 years, maybe almost 4. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So now, what parts of your job are the most exciting or the most interesting to you?
Interesting. Definitely, it's listening to all those stories that I hear from women that they have so many dreams, they want to do so many things, and they never have the time. They are like always super busy. And then seeing that transformation when they finally, text you like, "Hey, I got 2 free hours today. I didn't know what to do with them," and things like that. That's very, very exciting.
That's amazing. But now, on the flip side, what parts of your job are harder, emotionally challenging, or maybe just not so fun?
Well, I wouldn't say anything. It's emotionally challenging, really, not in what I do. Boring. I know I have to take care of social media, and I really like, that's the one thing I try to delegate all the time because that's not something I'm good at or I like to do.
Okay. And would you say that this is just a personal experience because you run kind of your own company and your own concept, or is this normal for a time management coach?
Well, no, I guess that's me. Maybe other time management coaches are good at social media. I have an assistant, a virtual assistant, and I try to delegate that to her.
Okay, great. So now, what do you think that people might underestimate or overestimate about this job?
Okay, underestimate it's the amount of work that's behind the scenes because since I work from home, it's like, well, you're always at home, so how hard can it be? So really people I think underestimate the amount of work that's behind what I do. Overestimate, I find that some people think that you can work miracles, and even if they don't do the work, you can do, for them what they need to do. So people overestimate my ability to change their lives without them putting the work.
Yeah. And so now going specifically more into this field and this job, are there niches that people can choose to specialize in? I know that you kind of cater towards women, but are there others that professionals might choose?
Yeah, within the organization career, let's say, there are people who specialize in like space organization, like physical, space organization or finance or things like that. I do time management because that's what I'm good at. or what
Okay.
I'm best
Okay.
at. And also I tailor to women because I think that I can connect better with a woman that, with men.
Okay.
Even though strategies and techniques are pretty much the same, but
Yeah.
it requires a level of connection so they can open up to you. And I think
Okay.
it's easier for me to do that with women. Of course, you can go corporate too. I work
Yeah.
with entrepreneurs and like small business owners,
Okay.
sometimes even moms that they don't work, but
Okay.
they need to manage their time. So yeah,
Yeah.
there are many other niches where they can work in.
Okay. And now kind of along those same lines, what are some of the biggest employers for this type of role? What companies look for a time management coach, do you think?
Well, if you ask me, like
Or
everybody needs a time management
okay.
coach because
Okay.
that's like one of your most valuable resources. I've never looked into employers because I work on my
Okay.
own. I
Yeah.
never like even considered being an employee in some
Okay.
company.
So you don't know of any companies that would hire, or do you see that this is mostly like a freelance type of job or a make your own company type of job?
I think so. I would
Yeah.
agree with that. However, I do think that every company would benefit, even if it's outsourcing from a
Okay.
time management coach to help them improve the use of this valuable resource.
Okay. And now, would you say that maybe this is synonymous to a time management consultant, or do you think that those are two different things? What do you think about that?
No, actually, no, I don't think are very two different things. I think you can be a time management mentor or coach.
Okay.
Actually, I have a certification in life as a life coach,
Okay.
but you can be a consultant. Why not? Yes.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So now, before we hopped on this call, I had to do a little bit of research about the average salary for a time management coach. So
Mhm.
according to Google, it is about $82,000. From your experience, do you think this is accurate? What do you think about that number?
Um, I'm not able to say if that's accurate because, as I told you, the options are so many. If you
Yeah.
work corporate, I'm pretty sure you can make that amount of money,
Yeah.
I mean, very fast. Since I
Okay.
work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, or even moms, that's not what I make a year,
Okay. Okay.
but I'm pretty sure it is possible. Yes.
Okay, perfect. And now would you say that this type of role is like commission based? So it's like based on your customers, or is it just a base pay that you receive, like a base salary?
Yes, pay per hour or product, right? I have courses, I
Okay.
have workshops, and
Okay. Okay.
there's like a fee for that. And yes,
Okay.
but it's not by commissions. No.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So now what are some current trends or challenges that you kind of see around your role, and how do you see it changing in about 5 to 10 years?
What I'm seeing now is that time management and productivity per se, they are trending more towards a holistic approach, more
Okay.
towards well-being and self-care, and not only like we have to meet these objectives or these goals,
Mm,
or we have to, make this amount of money. It's also, as I said, a more holistic approach because burnout, it's a very real thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm seeing, that the definition of productivity, the concept, it's changing towards a
Okay.
more holistic approach.
Okay. And so now with all of that, how do you stay updated with the latest developments or maybe the latest techniques in your field?
Well, I read a lot. I read
Okay.
a lot of books. I like in everything that's closely related to time management. I do read about it. Like I read a
Okay.
articles from magazines or books or everything. I have like a ton of books. Also, I love TED Talks. They're so like short and to the point that you can learn a lot from a
Yeah.
very well chosen TED Talk.
Yeah. So now going into your daily work and your tasks, what does your schedule look like? What tasks do you spend the majority of your day doing?
Okay, my schedule it's really flexible because it's me. So unless I have an appointment with a client for a
Okay.
one-on-one session, I'm pretty much the owner of my schedule. Where I spend most of my time, it's creating content because I am also an author, and I'm right now starting to work on my second book. I have a blog,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I write all the content, even though it's not my favorite thing. I write all the content in my Instagram page and
Okay.
what I have there. So I write
Yeah.
all the copy. I do everything. So I spend a lot of time writing newsletters, the book, the blog, the content. Like that's what I spend most of my time, and of course planning. I love that. I love planning.
Okay.
Mhm.
Amazing. So now, just out of curiosity, of course, I'm sure that not all sessions are the same, but what does a session kind of tend to look like?
Okay, yeah, they're not all the same. It depends on the goals of a client.
Okay.
But usually, what we do is that I start with how would I call that? Like a map of how they use their time. So I can have
Okay.
like a little window into their day to day. So
Okay.
that's our like starting point, right? And from
Okay.
there, we start working on a action plan they can actually implement. That's very tailor-made to them, to their needs, to their
Okay.
personality, to their family dynamics, work. So I follow up every session. It's like they have to make some progress that I can measure
Okay.
and follow up on that.
Okay. That's great. And so now, how often are these follow-ups, or does it just depend on, again, the plan and the goals?
Yeah, ideally sessions are every 2 weeks, so I give them
Okay.
time to like actually put in practice whatever we talked to in that session.
Okay.
Sometimes, because of different reasons, like now it's summertime, it's vacation, so people like may not be available every 2 weeks, so we spread that
Okay.
out, but not much longer than 2 weeks. That's the ideal time.
Okay. And kind of with that and talking about summer, do you see that there are maybe busy seasons with this job? And if so, what are they?
Yes, I would say January, February, the beginning of the year, because it's like better, being more organized and planning
Yeah.
better. I always like in the top 10 New
Yeah.
Year's resolutions.
Resolutions. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody wants to start the year like better organized and, with more time for me
Yeah.
or time to
Yeah.
exercise and things like that. So, yes,
Okay.
that would be the busiest.
Okay. And so now going into some specific skills and knowledges, are there certain degrees or certifications that are truly required to become a time management coach?
Truly required? No. Like you
Okay.
can start with wherever you are right now.
Okay.
However, if you want to go specifically, like for example, now I'm doing a certification in human design because I
Okay.
want to create these action plans based on the human design of my clients. So
Okay.
in that case, I go and I need a certification for that. Or
Okay.
if you want to let's say I know go to a specific niche, then you have to have because it's better for you, right? And
Yeah.
knowing what to do, it's very different as than being able to teach.
Yeah.
I may be very good at time management in my small circle, but
Yeah.
teaching strategies
Is
and
a different
teaching
story.
those techniques, it's very, very different than
Yeah.
doing it myself. So you may want to go, like say, for example, to the National Association of Professional Organizers, right?
Okay.
NAPO. And then get a certification. Like I have one in workplace productivity, for example,
Okay.
but they have many other options. So yes, but really to start that are truly needed, no.
No. Okay. Great. So now what are some natural strengths or talents that you think is important to have as a time management coach?
Well, you have to be able to manage your time pretty well yourself to start. You have to be planned. You have to have discipline and certain structure because you want to be the role model for your clients, right?
Okay.
So if I have a session and I get late to my Zoom call, then it's not gonna be a
Yeah.
good thing for you. So you have to be what you teach.
Okay. Okay. And so now what do you kind of end up thinking about all day? What topics or subject matters do you think that someone has to be really interested in order to enjoy this job?
Yeah, no, I would say I'm always thinking of, I have a case, for example, a particular client. I'm like, how can I help her in that
Yeah.
particular situation? How can I do things easier, better, faster without altering the result or without, affecting
Yeah.
the result? So how can
Yeah.
I do things better? Or I have cases of my clients like in my head all the time, like, how can I help her,
Okay.
improving here or do that or
Okay.
go around that or that's
Yeah.
that's all I'm thinking of about it.
That's cool. So now what tools or technologies or maybe softwares do you use as part of your job?
Very few, but these are like apps that I always use. Of course, my Google Calendar and Google
Okay.
Keep. That's my like to-do list is in my Google Keep. Then
Okay.
I used as a project manager, I use Asana. That's where I organize all my content for Instagram, where I design all my courses or workshops
Oh,
or
cool.
everything. I use that to organize everything. Of course, my assistant has also access to that, so we can communicate, and we have a board for the tasks that I delegate for
Mhm.
her to do. And
Okay.
what else do I do? Of course, Canva, because everything I design it's in
Yeah.
Canva, and Zoom because my sessions are
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so now I'm kind of curious, what do your courses look like? Like, what are the courses about?
Okay, I have one that's called it's Mañanas Poderosas, which would be like powerful morning, and it's
Mornings.
about creating your morning routine.
Okay.
So it's a five
Cool.
session course.
Yeah.
And I teach you like how to block the time, how to pick a very cozy, comfortable space. So you want to get
Yeah.
up early and go there, what to do in your morning routine, how to not feel guilty about taking that time for yourself,
Yeah.
how to communicate with your family so they will give you the time without
Yeah.
interruptions.
Wow.
And so that's one. I have another one that's more comprehensive that we go through everything in planning, like how to use a planner or how to block
Okay.
time, all the strategies, all the techniques. And
Yeah.
that's productivity with a purpose in English. Would
Mhm.
that be? Of course, all my everything I do is in Spanish, so I'm here like
Yeah.
translating everything.
Yeah.
So those are the two main ones. Once I finish my certification in human design, I'm gonna create a new one
Great.
based on that.
Great. That's super interesting. Now we kind of want to give our listeners a little bit of advice. So, what do you recommend that candidates that are interested in becoming time management coaches do in order to set themselves apart from others?
Well, that's a very good question. And if I can give you an example, what I'm doing in human design, that's
Okay.
what I'm working towards. Like, be
Okay.
different. I did my research and I didn't find too many coaches, or actually, I didn't find any time management coaches
Yeah.
that are aligned with human design, that work from human design. So that's what I'm working on to make myself different from
Okay.
other time management coaches. So there are many things. It depends if you go corporate, if you go, like all in groups instead of one-on-one. So it
Okay.
depends, but it's always good to find a little thing that sometimes, you know what, sometimes it doesn't have to be a big thing. Only
Yeah.
like by being a very good communicator, you can make a very big difference
Hmm.
and create a gap between you and your competitors. That's
Yeah.
so you don't have to look like very far away or very
Yeah.
fancy things.
Yeah. So now if someone wants to make a pivot from another career into this one, what's the first thing that you recommend them to do?
Just start.
Okay.
start start
Okay.
because once you start, of course you create your like the structure, right? Do I
Yeah.
want to go one-on-one? Do I want to go only groups? What do I want to go corporate? Or what? So once you have that figured out, just start, because in the when once you're there, you're gonna find things where you want to be better at, or you want to be, but it's very hard to figure that out before starting.
Yeah.
So you need like two or three basic blocks to start, and then you're gonna like fine tune your business.
So we talked a little bit about books and how you're constantly reading, but what are some books, resources, or programs that you recommend our listeners look into?
There are some that are very like must reads. Okay. So one that I like, Essentialism by Greg McGeehan. He was like the starting point of my whole program of doing less instead of trying to do more in less time. It's just doing less. So he has two, Essentialism and Effortless. The second author, James Clear, of course, with Atomic Habits. He's like, that's a must read. Also a must read. Then I love that one. It's the 5 a.m. Club, Robin Sharma. That's another one that I really like. And the one thing that he talked, his last name is Keller. I think it's Gary Keller. And he teaches you how to focus on one thing instead of trying to multitask and try to do 10 things at the same time. So those are like the one. Oh, David Allen with Getting Things Done. Those are like your basic books. Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for that. So now if you could talk to your younger self, or maybe yourself 3 years ago when you were just starting off, what would you tell her?
I would tell her not to be afraid to invest in a top coach, a top business coach from the beginning. Because that's something I'm doing now, and I think I should have done at the very beginning. That would have saved a lot of time and trial and errors trying to do things by myself. So invest in a top tier business coach from the very beginning, someone that's aligned to what you want to do, and start there, because that will save a lot of money and time.
Yeah. Okay, so now finally, where can people reach out to you, or where can they follow along with your work?
Oh yeah, the best way, it's Instagram. I told you I'm not good at social media, so Instagram is the only one I can handle. So that's organizing.concepts with S at the end, and that's the best way. DM me there, and I'll be there.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that we tag you when this episode gets posted. But Sheila, thank you so much for being here and sharing about your experience as a time management coach. It was really appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You just got one episode closer to learning about the world of jobs out there. To explore the rest of our career categories and find your best fit, go to jobdictionary.com to sign up for the beta users waitlist. Then subscribe here to find the next episodes coming out this week. And as always, drop us a comment, review, or message to let us know how we can better attune our episodes to your specific needs. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Threads, Pinterest, and wherever else you're on socials to go get our short, snappy preview reels that expose you to new job options every day. Because here at Job Dictionary, we believe your big aha moment can be just one scroll away. Go check it out and get out there. Cheers!